Amazing Jungle Jason, Amazing Jungle Jason, Amazing Jungle Jason, Amazing Jungle Jason, Amazing Jungle Jason. Oh yeah. It's another episode of Jungle Jason with plant identification of edible and desirable plants that we want to preserve. This is a papaya sprout. This is a medium-sized papaya. And this is a fully grown fruiting papaya. We pick the fruits when they're about 80% yellow, so a little bit later on this one, probably 2 or 3 days. We like to compost a lot around these, so they produce lots of fruit. To tell the difference between a male and female papaya, you look at the flowers. This is a male papaya flower. This is a good example of a female flowering papaya. These flowers open up to get pollinated and then they will become the fruits. This is a small banana. These are fully grown bananas. Good rack of bananas. This is a young Rulinea. Kind of a way to identify it is that the young leaves kind of look like they're coated in white hairs, although they don't really feel like it. But that's kind of a giveaway for the Rulineas. This is a medium-sized or larger, but still small Rulinea. As you can see, the leaves have got this white texture. And over here you can see a larger Rulinea. This one right here, about a little over 2 meters tall, a little over a year old. These are ice cream bean. Way to identify these is that the leaves are like connected to the stem, which has its own leaf on the side of the stem. We plant these as nitrogen fixer and they also could produce the ice cream bean. This is an ice cream bean tree. It produces these bean-like fruit pods with white fruit inside. This is Pinto Peanut. It's a ground cover we use and a nitrogen fixer. Pops up these yellow flowers. To repropagate Pinto Peanut, we basically take part of this and bury it so it starts roots, or we take it off, break it off, and we go plant it over somewhere else in the soil so it'll sprout up roots. This is a lemon tree. They stay pretty short because we keep them pruned. They have lemons and unripe lemons. They are luckily free of spikes. The way to identify them is to bruise their leaves, same with oranges and mandarins and other citrus. You can bruise their leaf and give it a whiff, and it smells great. This is a mandarin tree. You can usually spot a fruit on them. It's a nice way to identify them. They also have lots of spikes, so be careful. This is a sweet potato. It's a nitrogen fixing vining plant. It runs along the ground. This is a flower. Also grows sweet potatoes in the ground. This is a sweet potato patch. This is a pineapple. They only get about waist high. This is a zapote tree. An easy way to identify the zapote tree is by looking at the trunk, and it has all the side trunks, branches shooting off of the same spot. It does that again and again as it grows up. Makes the young ones easy to climb and easy to identify. This is a durian tree. It's just under 2 meters tall. Easy way to identify the durian leaves. Durian trees by looking underside of the leaves. They're pretty much golden, very shiny, as well as the little sprouts. This is a jackfruit. It's a medium-sized one. Way to identify it is if you take the leaf. Well, first of all, the leaf looks like this. It's palmate. If you rub the bottom, it feels kind of sandpapery. This is a meringue tree. It looks similar to the jackfruit. It also has fuzzy leaves also on the top. You'll feel the fuzzy as well as the bottom, similar to the jackfruit. This is a local hard squash. It runs around the yard. It's a vine. And some places you'll find the fruit. Just like a hard, dark green and white squash. This is a mango. You try to remember how the leaf looks. It's got lots of veins. It's long and usually wavy. Here's some young sprouts. This is a large mango tree. You can recognize the leaves again. This is an abiyu, and this is the fully grown abiyu. It has a yellow fruit. This medium-sized tree is called a guava tree. It's a bit hard to notice with the lighting, but easy way to recognize it is it usually has yellow fruits. They get about 4 times as large as this. And then it turns yellow. The easy way to identify it is with the bark. It's got a very smooth bark. This is an araza fruit. They're relatively small trees. They only get to about 15 feet tall or so. But they produce these very aromatic. A simple way to notice if it's this, you can just take the fruit and smell it. And it's got a very perfumey flavor. This is cassava, or locally called yucca. It's got a root tuber. This is a jicama. It's a vining plant, so it crawls up things. These are maracuya, or passion fruit. They are also a vining plant. So they will be climbing on trees and along the grounds on weeds. So watch out for those. This is a young chonta palm. About a year old. This is a chonta palm. It's got a very spiky trunk. In here there's a bunch of coconut sprouts. So this is the leaves of them. This is a Malay apple. This is a cacao tree. Usually they have pods or dry pods on them. So you can see these black dried cacao pods. And the fruit turns bright yellow or bright red once it's ripe. This is a watermelon. You can recognize its leaf with all the rounded edges that come off of it. It's a vining plant, so it goes along the ground.
And that's it for this episode of Plant Identification with Amazon Jungle Jason.